Hey, I'm Jimmy.
I'm Natalie.
And this is our schoolie.
We are both 25 years old, we're engaged, and we're originally from South Carolina.
Earlier this year, we decided to make the lifestyle change and quit our jobs, buy a bus, and try to convert it to live in it full time.
The entire conversion took us about 6 months.
Did you know if you list your van with Outdoorsy, you can earn up to $50,000 a year? Check the link in the description to find out how.
This is our front cab area. We decided to keep it really simple up here, but we did install a couple of creature comforts for the driver, notably this 12-volt fan and our backup camera over here. We also have a cell phone holder for GPS. This is the original glove compartment that we still use for a couple odds and ends things, mostly our puck lock, which closes our front door. Also up here we have our fire extinguisher and our wheel chocks. And finally, we really wanted to integrate some of this space in with the living area, so we installed a swivel mount. We can use this driver's seat and it fits into the living space and just makes the whole cabin feel a bit bigger.
Swiveling the captain's chair leads you into our spacious living room. We've got the world's smallest couch on this side. It's about a 4-foot couch with a 16-inch chase lounge. Natalie and I love these little bump outs and we really wanted one in our bus, so we made room. We've got a lot of spacious storage room where we keep our big pots, pans, and our Instapot. And underneath the cushion here, we've got hidden storage where we just keep pretty much all our cold storage food, like canned beans, corn, rice, stuff like that. When we do sit on here and we feel like relaxing, we can watch TV. We put a hidden TV in this kitchen countertop to save room and to make it look neat. So all we do is flip this up. We've got gate latches on either side that we can just put into place there, and it'll hold the TV up while we watch TV. This has been working great for us. We've got 2 inches of foam in this little cubby right here that protects the TV as we're driving, and we've had no issues so far. It works great, no cracks, TV still works. And that kind of leads us into the rest of the kitchen area. This is our main pantry, which is just some overhead storage that we keep our go-to foods. And we got some odds and ends in here. And we have our toiletries above the sink here, just so it's like easy access when we're going to bed. It's right above the sink. Going back up to the front, we wanted to make the most of this weird angle, so we put a little diagonal storage unit here. That's been working great, and it allows us to swivel the chair back and forth, which is why we needed the cutout in the first place. Underneath the TV, we've got a microwave, another storage bin that we use for electronics, and our big 75-liter Dometic top-load fridge. We've got this also on gate latches and slides, so you can slide it all the way out, and it'll just pop open, and we can access our food. I love the space. We've got a fridge here on this side and a freezer unit on there. With this Dometic fridge, you can pick and choose which side is which, and you can even make both fridges or both freezers if you wanted to. Above the fridge is our one drawer, and we use this for utensils and odds and ends for cooking. So behind us is the sink. We pretty much picked the biggest one that would fit. We knew that dishes were going to be a pain, and so we wanted to make it as easy and comfortable to do as possible, especially since we use the Instapot all the time. So we chose this huge, deep, I think it's 13-inch deep sink, and it's allowed us to do tons of dishes at once, no complaints. Our sink faucet is on a swivel, so we can swivel it out and pop it outside for an outdoor shower if we need to. It's getting to be a little cold, so we've not done that yet, but maybe when we make it to the beach. Underneath the sink is our last little bit of kitchen storage, which is our trash can, our heater, and trash bags and cleaning supplies. We do have a ventless hot water heater here that has a safety feature that will actually cut off when there's no more oxygen supplied to it, just to prevent carbon monoxide buildup. And we've also got detectors around the bus for that as well. And I would actually be lying to you if I told you that was the rest of the kitchen storage. I forgot, we actually do have one more pantry above the driver's seat that we keep all our snacks in. Our big plan was we wanted to keep it near the front, so if critters or bugs did get in, you could easily shoo them right outside the door.
Over here is our dinette seat with 2 benches. We can technically fit 4 people, but it's a little tight. You might have to play footsie with the person across from you. But for 2 people, it is amazing. It's very comfortable. This was something that was a must-have for me in a schoolie. So we have a table in the middle on a Lagoon swivel mount, and we can push it out of the way over here, and these seats pop right up for extra storage. We also have our diesel heater inside of this compartment, and we have these floor registers installed on the walls so that we can get the air intake in the middle and then the air output right here, which is a great central location, so it heats up the whole bus pretty evenly. Also on the back of this dinette bench, we have a charging cabinet, so you can open it up and there are some USB ports in there. We also have our WeBoost inside antenna hidden in here, which is awesome, again, for the central location, so we have good cell signal everywhere in the bus when it's on. And back here, we have a control panel on this end. We kind of have to get on the floor to really see it, but it's nice to have everything accessible from inside the cabin. This just has things like our solar charge controller, so we can see how many watts of solar we're getting. It has our monitor for our battery management system, so we can see what state of charge our batteries are at. And it also has our WeBoost switch and the switch for our inverter. And inside this cabinet, we just have our 300 amp hours of lithium iron phosphate batteries from Renogy, but we can go through that when we're looking in the garage. So we can take this table off, and this swivels around, so we can have extra walking space if we need it, if we have a lot of people in here for some reason. We also are able to better see this accent wall that I made. This was kind of an original design that I custom made with individual pieces of plywood. That was a lot of fun and a real creative challenge for me, so I'm very proud of this wall. So now you can kind of see that this dinette bench has an AC outlet right here and this cool HDMI outlet that we ran a cable all the way through the ceiling of the bus to the TV hidden cabinet on the other side, and instead of having to plug an HDMI cable into the back of the television, we can just plug it in right here. So it's much more accessible. We can have the computer up here and just plug it in easily and display something on the TV on the other side of the bus. We really love that feature, and it required some planning ahead, but we're really glad that it worked out. So over here, we have our shower and bathroom. We installed a light switch for it over here. All of our lights in the bus are on dimmer switches, which has been really convenient. It's a little small for the entrance, but it opens up to be the width of one bus window, which is about 2.5 feet by 3 feet. It just has this weird trapezoid shape that cuts off a little bit of it, but it was worth it for us to be able to include a bathroom in our build without compromising on having an open floor plan and having a lot of living space. In here we have a fully functioning shower and a Nature's Head composting toilet, but the cool thing that we did is we made a waterproof room off to the side of the shower that we can slide the toilet into so that we can take full advantage of the floor space in the shower, and it gives us a full-size shower, more or less, and a comfortable private room for our toilet. Coming back here, this is our bedroom. We have a full-size mattress where we cut off a small corner just to fit the shower right here, but it's been plenty of room for the 2 of us. It's kind of tall, but we usually use the dinette seat to hop up. So once you're up here, these are our overhead cabinets for our clothing storage. So this cabinet has all of my clothes in it, and that one has all of Jimmy's clothes. We have a third cabinet in the back that just has some blankets, a couple games. It's mostly empty right now, but we have some extra storage space that might come in handy down the road. We have a little flip-top nightstand. So this has Jimmy's socks in it, this has my socks in it, and then we have this third compartment, which is a laundry chute. And it leads straight into the garage so that our dirty clothes are not cluttering up our living space. We also installed a 12-volt fan back here just for the hot nights because we don't have AC. We also have the control panel for our diesel heater over here so that we can turn it on and off without getting out of bed. I just want to show you one more thing before we go out and see the garage, and that is our window covering. So around the bus, we have these hidden window coverings that we just pull up from the wall like this. And we hook them into place on these cup hooks. And it's completely blackout. It has Reflectix sewn in, and the fabric that I used is waterproof. So it's resistant to condensation. We really love this because we wanted to leave all of our windows completely open for the views, but we wanted to be able to have privacy and have the windows be well insulated and not have a big stack of window coverings floating around the bus that we don't know what to do with when we're not using them. So this is the perfect solution for us because we can just take them down and they tuck right into our walls. So I'm very proud of these. We made these ourselves and they turned out great. We do have a video about it if you're curious.
So behind me is our garage area. It usually doesn't look this clean. We usually keep our kayaks and other knickknacks back here, but we decided to make a really big garage so that we can keep as much adventuring equipment as we can possibly fit. We did decide to put down a nice thick waterproof mat just to add protection, and we also have a lot of our plumbing back here, so it's just for, you know, in case something goes wrong. So the big things back here are, number one, our propane box. This runs and fuels our hot water heater and our stovetop. We keep it in a nice sealed box for protection. Next to it, we have our water fill that is actually connected to a garden hose splitter. The short story is, Natalie and I really wanted to have 100 gallons of fresh water so we can boondock for as long as possible, but we did not have enough space for that since we had a short schoolie. So we had to split it up and buy 2 freshwater tanks. We have a 55 gallon right under here, a 40 gallon right here, that equals 95 gallons. So when we do a freshwater fill, we can pick and choose which tank we're filling up, which has actually proven pretty helpful. And then similar to that, we have our water pull system that our water pump pulls from, and it has the exact same garden hose splitter, and we can choose which of the 2 tanks we pull from, which has been super helpful because we get a nice little warning when we are halfway through our water tank because we don't get any more water until we come back here and switch to use the second tank. We actually love that unintentional feature and might even do that again in a second build. And finally, above our propane tank is our laundry chute. We have a nice little fabric hamper that we can throw all our clothes in, and we just pop open this door and grab it whenever we need to go do laundry. And with that, we can move over to the handicap door and we can show you some of the electronics. So over here, we have more storage, but what's really neat is next to that is this is our electrical box. We have 2 doors that just kind of flop open like this, and this connects all the way through to the bottom of our second dinette. And if you remember, Natalie said that's where we keep our batteries, and we did that so that we can run the cables through and also connect a large 3,000 watt inverter. The inverter is kind of overkill for our needs, but we wanted to make this build future proof because we weren't sure if we were going to do an air conditioning unit sometime in the future. Other than that, we've got our breakers back here, our fuse box, and also our solar charge controller and the basics like that. We have it all connected to one master switch located in the back, so that when, not if, we have to do maintenance on it, we can just flip the switch and safely touch all the cables and not electrocute ourselves. And finally, next to this door, we have our shore power plug. It is a 30 amp inlet that we've been able to use whenever we stay at campsites, which is not really frequent. We decided to put it on this side since it's literally like a 6-inch run to all of our batteries that sit underneath the dinette right here. You can see that we have a mid-size schoolie. It has 5 windows and it's about 25 feet in length. Natalie and I really wanted to get the dog nose front end. It was just a personal preference. We really like the aesthetic and we really enjoy having like the older style bus. Speaking of, it is a 1997 Thomas International model 3800, and it's got roughly 260,000 miles on it. Despite the number of miles, it's been working great for us. A couple hiccups on the road, but nothing we can't solve. On top, we've got 6 100 watt panels from Rainergy that power our inside batteries and our rooftop deck. We had to cram it on there, and we'll show more of that once we get up on top. So this is our rooftop deck. We sometimes affectionately call it the koi pond just because of its odd shape. We picked the U shape because we needed to fit all these items up here. We have 6 solar panels up here and then 2 max air fans, one in the front and one in the back. And the rooftop deck wraps around the one in the back. Other than that, that's kind of all we have up here. We painted the roof white to try to reflect as much sun as possible and keep it cool inside. But I mean, let's be honest, all of our stuff kind of covers the rest of the roof, so that probably helps with the heat as well. And that's pretty much all we have. We've got the WeBoost antenna over there next to the ladder.
We've been living in this bus for about 2 months now. We are full-time living in here, traveling and making YouTube videos. So we have just been having the time of our lives. We knew when we had the idea of building out and living in a schoolie full-time that we wanted to spend more time together, and that part of this lifestyle has been really great. We made the space perfect for us, and it's very comfortable to hang out in.
We first found out about bus life probably 2 or 3 years ago at this point. We were just relaxing after our day job and stumbled across a movie that featured a German couple that built out a schoolie and traveled across North America and Canada, and we fell in love with the idea. So ever since then, we were researching, planning, and figuring out how we can do something similar, and somehow we made it work. Earlier this year, we did both quit our jobs to pursue this full time and haven't really looked back. Like Natalie said, we've really enjoyed the time we've spent together and would honestly recommend it to anyone that has the capability. I know this lifestyle isn't for everyone, but it has given us a new perspective on day-to-day life, and it just makes every day seem twice as long as it did before.
I feel like we're living each day just to the absolute fullest, and it's really cool. We're only 2 months in, so we're really still seeing everything with the rose-colored glasses. But,
yeah, that should be our disclaimer.
Yeah. If you're curious, the movie is called Expedition Happiness. We found it on Netflix. It kind of, I can't believe I'm saying this about a movie, but it kind of changed the direction of our lives, so it was really impactful. After we heard about it, we were up until 6 a.m. that morning just watching videos on YouTube of people who lived in vans and schoolies, and we knew right away that it was what we wanted to do. So like Jimmy said, if you feel really strongly about this, that this is something that you are meant to do and that it's important to you, make it happen. There are ways to do it. It's really tough, a lot of sacrifices sometimes, but it'll be worth it just to be true to yourself, follow your dreams. It's really cliche, but you know, it's cliche for a reason.
And just to put it out there, before we built this, I was a software engineer and Natalie was a financial analyst, so we had no background building any of this, so
Zero experience.
Yeah. And I'm sure if you could look around in person, you could see some imperfections. You know, not everything is Instagram perfect, as you see online, but we've really enjoyed the entire process. We've enjoyed how it turned out, and we're enjoying the lifestyle as well.
Yeah, very worth it. We learned a lot.
Thank you for checking out our tour. If you're interested in watching our adventures, we are Jimmy and Natalie on YouTube, so go check us out.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you hadn't noticed, we do sell an ebook for how to convert a van. It has over 190 pages of detailed instructions and diagrams, also 25 video tutorials which are specifically for the ebook buyer. Creating a van for many people is obviously a really intimidating project, but I really believe, and I've seen it time and time and time again, that with the right information, anyone can turn out with a pretty decent van conversion. So check the link in the description, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and drop us a comment if you like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.